Okay. Checking. 1, 2, 1, 2. Make sure everybody can hear me. I usually have to give it a second, make sure the ring's showing up. Yeah, see, 3 people here. Can you guys? Okay, I can hear myself. Well, not hear myself. I can see myself talk, so I know I'm talking now. Okay, we're going to go back when I had just turned the age of 17. I was facing 10 days. Within that 10 days, I was facing expulsion from just joining my sophomore year. My grades failed. I failed off the football team. The same football team I went my freshman year, and I still had my championship ring. I was hurt for the last game, so I was in jeans, but I had my uh um pants, my jersey on, and walked with the rest of them that won in 2005. Well, going in 2006, I was facing 10 days into an expulsion, and within the first 2 days, I just turned 17, and I talked to a recruiter with United States Army National Guard. And I chose a better route for me. And like I was talking to this recruiter, it's how I've always been. I grew up kind of a loner. It wasn't until I was later on in life I found out where a lot of my staying to myself and secluding myself, reading a book, getting deep, I could read a story, like a book, like Harry Potter, like from the age of like what, third grade, fourth grade. I could read a Harry Potter book within 2, 3 days, store it in like a computerized mind, and be able to recall every part of that book from the start to the ending, what it was about, everything. I could relay it back to my teachers and end up having what was my reading and composition. I was showing at a senior level in not college, not high school, but college. A reading and retention level of a college senior at third and fourth grade. I was blowing my teachers away, like on how many books I could read, retain it, and it's not just me kind of skimming over it, fast reading. I'm able to retain it. I know what I've read. I know the words that were there. If I couldn't figure them out, I'd get a dictionary, figure out how to sound them out. Oh, that's what this word is. And that's a lot of how I found out about my world around me. I was having trouble talking, and all the signs that were there, I was never tested with ASD 1, autism spectrum disorder, level 1, high functioning autism. I showed the high IQ levels, the reading or retention, the computerized mind, I was showing all those signs, but it wasn't until later on in adulthood that I found out, hey, this makes a hell of a lot more sense. But we're going to get in to, like I said, age 17 to better my life with my life failing around me. And it's how I've always been. How can I help the ones around me, the community around me, the ones around me, better my community, better myself? That whole mindset, be an army of one. I was living that life as a child. I was raised by a felon with a heavy hand. So a lot of times, yes, we got more than ass spankings when we were kids. We get the cops called on us. It's either are we going to get the belt, or we going to get hands, fists to cuffs. The older we got, the less the belt, a paddle would work. And being raised by a felon that doesn't want his children to be raised as felons, to live that life, you get a little idea of some of the things I've let out, like my PTSD. It stems from a distant older cousin, the hard R and molestation, the foreign objects, not just hands, fingers, you get the idea, but other objects used on you and your younger, about a year and a half younger cousin for years of your life as children. Having to hump this older cousin's leg is how it started. And it progressively got worse the years. He was living in our grandmother's trailer with his mother, his brother, and our grandmother. So when she babysat us, this is the hell me and my little cousin was going through as a child. This is the same hell that the PTSD that I have, where I've got Prof. I've got others like Christine, supposed to be a professional, stalking and harassing, using me, my PTSD, just like Indiana State Police and KPD, on, oh, he's mentally unwell. He's mentally not here. Oh, his PTSD makes him retarded. Laughing, carrying on, the stalking, the harassment by supposable professional on a witness and federal living victim. How is that becoming of any professional on anybody that stands up for victims and witnesses and supposed to be there for justice? But when you're using like silenced, and I've got all those documented, and then the audio video when you went on True Grit Crime, laughing of what the hell you just did to me under the name Silence. Haha, that was you. Christina, you're about as sick and vile as they come. I'm making sure your law license is taken away, and you will never, ever be allowed back in any courthouse around any child's case. So help me God. I'm not alone in this. You've violated federal crimes. You are tampering with another active case right now. Putting a name on pictures you're supposedly seen. And oh, everybody should listen to you because I worked under just the PI, Jason K. Jansen. And I worked for the Delphi defense team. Anything I fucking say, I'm a saint. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. The same Facebook groups that you're praising, you're involved with these content creators. Do you realize some of these content creators, like Prof, Christina, your friend Christina, Stewart, aka Mama Libra Skills. Do you realize, have you asked her about the text messages, the Facebook messages The calls her and her husband was doing to me, trying to extend a olive branch. Oh, don't tell your family that you're leaving the casino. Let us come pick you up and come hang out with us. Don't worry about bringing your gun. No need to let the family know you're even leaving the casino, or don't bring the gun. Whatever you do, don't bring the gun. How about Robin Boudreaux? His little Facebook groups, the Discord chats. Oh, we're about to get into this here in a second. Before I unload on this drug ring, the 4 badges, this drug ring, the gun trafficking, the sex trafficking, the drug trafficking, behind not 1, but 4. Deputy Koontz, Deputy Jacob Pickett, Greg Ferenczi, Officer Robert Pitts, Terre Haute PD. 2 of these, a sheriff and their uppers, finally started listening to me. The ties and connections back to the dealers and the gun traffickers, the ones that got the killers the guns, and both Pickett's as well as Robert Pitts belong to the same criminal organization, the drug ring, gun trafficking ring, that goes back to over 20 children of the community, troubled community, missing and murdered cases, over 80 across Indiana wide. There's over 100 cases across 11 states, Washington, not Washington, but Texas, Florida. Each and every single case goes back to individuals, back to this drug ring, back to Kokomo, Delphi, Flora, the surrounding areas. But join this Facebook group. Trust this person, they say. Oh, trust and tell everything you know to this person. Jolene, Jenny Kroom, Jody, the girls' real chats that had ones where convicted child molester and moved out of a younger grandchild that came forward on your grandson, Linda Garlick. Did she tell all you that she moved out when her grandkids let it be known and was filing charges on their cousin and held their older brother raping and molesting under her supervision in her own house? Did she let you guys know about those? Or how about the Diller, Frankfurt Diller of her family? She did not want me to bring up. Don't you dare bring up my family, or else. The Dillers that were threatening me. If I was to keep talking, if I was to keep trusting the FBI, Indiana State Police, the investigation, one's doing the investigation. If I was to keep talking, I'll be slit, tortured, left in puddles, left in the woods like those 2 little Delphi girls if I was to keep running my mouth. Then I had other dealers involved in this ring. If I keep running my mouth, I'll be the next one that vanishes. No need to pack my bags where I'm going. Then he had ones like Tyler Joe French, having his fiance, which is a registered nurse in Howard County, has my medical files, using my medical files on why my PTSD makes me mentally retarded. My PTSD makes me where I'm mentally unhinged, and trying to use that where, yep, that makes you retarded. Yep. But then you have a PI, Christina, stalking her, asking me using the same wordage that her buddy, content creator, Prof, just did a few days prior, with her in the chat under silenced, having a good old fucking merry time. But you remember, she's here for child victims and their justice. You remember? These Facebook groups that have dealers, hell, killers, that admitted to their own mother being involved with some of these Facebook groups, with Rima, Honey, Mamaw, Jenny Kroom, Judy Hathaway, Tina Riddell. And I'm not able to just say this. Wait to the video and wait to the live later tonight where I'm breaking down the messages, the screenshots, who was all in these groups, getting information like Rick and Shelly Collins. She ran In a Minute. She belonged to In a Minute in another Facebook group. She runs one herself for the Delphi girls, but yet I got back in 2018 admitting to like George Stanley and other family friends and family of her husbands down in Rushville, where these same individuals in your guys' Facebook groups gathering all this information is taking this information back to like ones like Linda Garlic would take it back to her Diller family members and the longtime Monticello big time meth dealer boyfriend of her daughters in Monticello. They would get it back to their drug ring and their friends, anything and everything she got in these groups, the Facebook groups, the private chats, the fucking content creators that she and Tina and the rest got buddy with. To the point on having some of these dealers involved with more than one cases on live panels, doing live panels with some of these individuals saying they want justice, but behind the scenes, the Facebook groups, they're trying to get everything I knew out of me, every detail, and get it back to individuals like Elvis Fields, like Rick and Shelly Collins, was using their three multiple groups that they were involved with, and one that she admits by name she ran and still runs. I've got all those messages. The only thing you're going to see edited out is where I was letting it be known to a piece of shit fucking cunt that was getting information to Elvis Fields via her husband's family in Rushville, and actually physically meeting Elvis Fields while running Facebook groups for Delphi. Getting all this information. Who's going after what? What's being looked after? Getting back to these dealers, this cartel drug ring, the dealers, ones like Elvis Fields, having his family friends getting into Facebook groups, joining with Libby's own family, down to certain family members becoming best friends with Tina Riddell, Linda Garlic, other ones that are getting this information back to the same drug ring, cartel drug ring that their own family ran with for years. It's how they became so good friends. And oh, you mean my dealer? This one, like Frankfurt 2015 raids? Oh shit. So you mean Megan, Keegan Callis, Gabe Ellis, they all ran with the same drug ring? No wonder you have all these individuals on YouTube content creators, their chats. And then hell, getting Criminal Network, Alexander Zabel Jr., a long time, and did you know the Latinos or not Latinos or Here, Alexander, aka Criminal Network, you can spit some bars too while I'm jizzing in your face. Big disgrace. I'm gonna fuck your face all over the place. Because guess what? You think you can spit bars? I can too. You inbred little wanna be fucking gangsta. You say killing, murder, and drugs make you money. Well, guess what, little honey? Those honey buns ain't gonna help your ass when you hit prison. Because guess what? Your little gangs are no longer little gangs anymore. You'd be selling your ass for honey buns when you hit federal prison. Because guess what? Those gangs you ran with, if you go back in your playlist, the California gangs that operate in Indiana, part of the cartel that you ran with, you praised of being a veteran gang member, are now terrorist organizations next to the cartel, both California as well as the operations there you're doing here in Indiana. You can attack the families, you can attack victims and witnesses all you want, little boy. But when those fucking cheeks are getting fucking clapped in prison, you are a no good piece of fucking trash, just like your dealers and your fucking killers. So Alexander Zabel Jr., you're nothing but a punk ass little fucking bitch. And I like to see you fucking come around in my fucking neck of the woods, because guess what? You're talking about murders and this, that, and the other. Well, guess what? Your dome would be split around me, little boy. You talk about it and you can sing about it, but be about it, little bitch. That's all I got to say about ones like Alexander Zabel Jr., aka Criminal Network. You might want to look at his playlist, the track list. Well, before he started doing the true crime, no voiceovers, no nothing, just fucking true crime little snippets. Look at the long time. Sex, drugs, murder. A killer's got a killer. No means yes. Murder, murder, murder. Sex, sex, sex. Drugs, drugs, drugs. Remember, he's a long-time fucking gangster. He's a little fucking bitch. And I like to see him step too. I want to see him face to face with me, little boy. Because with you and your little game, well, just remember, Tom, Homan, our gang's a hell of a lot bigger than yours. But when I see your little bitch ass deported, it ain't just being deported with you and your family. You're going to fucking Gitmo with the terrorist. You're a little piece of shit. Run your fucking mouth on YouTube thinking like you're a big bad motherfucker. You're a little fucking pussy ass, little scrawny ass, fucking wannabe gangsta ass little bitch. And I wish you would step to me. I'd save millions of taxpayer money with 40 cents. Hell, 80 cents if I didn't get the right one. First one right on. And me being in a wheelchair, when I had to pull, it's right there at her groin. Your balls are gone. So how am I at a disadvantage? So yeah, you guys can have sex, drugs, murder, and fucking have the millions going into your pockets. Alexander Zabel Jr., aka Criminal Network. The rest of you, the almost 4,000 of you that decided to add yourselves to that inbred little fucking cunt, you might want to look back before he started doing true crime. How about some of his music videos of him and his buddies, Veterano, Latino gang members that are now terrorist organizations? You added yourself to a now terrorist. Just because he can do a little funny videos with fucking the wacky panties and I like that. That's funny. Let's add ourselves to this cartel member and gang member Just because it's fucking funny. And what he says in comments is fucking hilarious. Let's go ahead and add ourselves and our friends and our family to this motherfucker that's done nothing but money made out of what? Drugs, murder, sex, trafficking, human trafficking. And then praising that on his own fucking page for years before he got into criminal network and doing true crime. Look at his past. It's showing right there on his page. He's fucking laughing at you guys. Showing, oh shit, you mean Dillers and their family right here in this ring around here can add themselves and hell make their own pages and making money off like people like seriously? I can do that too. Yeah, it's exactly why Alexander Zabel Jr. out of Northern California, which is a fucking inbred veteran gang member of now a terrorist organization. Look it up. Not Tanos or Tostitos or wherever the fuck that fucking bunch of pussy ass fucking gangbangers you ran with, Alexander. You're nothing but a little bitch, and I wish you would step to me. Step to it. Hop to, motherfucker. You keep making all these songs like you're about that life. Oh, I'm about this life. Well, I am really about this motherfucker. You think I'm afraid of fucking taking your life when others around me lives are at stake? You became a threat to me. You want to show up, take my life? Who's better trained? A wannabe street thug or somebody that's trained proficient, profound in my warrior tasks and drills on any domestic or foreign terrorist of my people and my nation? I can't wait till you see your uncles and cousins and brothers and sisters, the hell that you guys have taken. Many of the children's lives of the troubled community, even in Indiana, that you've taken, burned, you killed, mutilated, killed, murdered. I can't wait till bombs start bombing your fucking family down in Mexico, little boy. Let them bomb the fucking cartel. I can't wait till the rain of fucking hell and wrath of fury runs down. And you feel the sick feeling that these families have felt when your own family's being hunted by not just cartel, but the United States military with its bombs, its ordinances, its missiles. I can't wait till the day I see hell have no fury. And Alexander, if I see your fucking family getting blown up down there and you crying, I'll fucking laugh and I can't wait to spit and shit and piss on your grave and theirs. I'll fucking get off of my wheelchair. I'll do a little jig and I'll piss on your fucking grave. Each and every single one of you. You are nothing. To know I gave that little girl, when I stopped and helped her for hours, the last bit of humanity she felt. Before she left, I gave her a hug and I said, I told you, I promised I would not let anything happen to you. But to know that she got sex trafficked by Gabriel Ellis, and to know what the hell she felt up to the last breath that she took from her body, having people put things where they shouldn't be going, how they shouldn't be going, getting done to her, knowing that pain, that misery, it's what enrages me to keep fighting. I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to become this next big creator. But one thing I am here to do is to rain hell. And now with two committees about to rain hell I got more than one rep outside of Indiana, out of their control, out of their paychecks, their payroll. Just like the senator in Kokomo and the surrounding elected officials on the cartel's payroll, money laundering. Defense attorneys. You think Rick's going to get a trial, fair trial, when you got a local good old boy club member? Him and his family have long ties back to that same good old boys club, Logansport, where he's from, Delphi, Kokomo, the good old boys club right there. And you think Rick Allen's going to get the justice he deserves? The trial he deserves when both the state and the defense refuses to go after long time drug ties and individuals that go back in my FBI informant files, back in around this drug ring, militia members. Oh yeah. There's a hell of a lot a certain family of a defense team doesn't want shown. But I'm about to bring everything. When it's public information, public profiles, I documented who's friends with who, back to what dealer, what ring. When your own daughters and your own family members are setting longtime friends with cartel members, gangbangers, dealers, but nothing to see there. And everybody saying, oh, Derek had to roll on Gabriel Ellis back in what, 2005? 10, 12, or whatever the fuck that was, 2011, on the ammonia charge. Look up the time Blaine McClellan was picked up. 0530. You had Derek Sherman picked up September 14th, 2014. 4.5 hours later, his dealing partner, Blaine McClellan, and a female, both locations. One female with Derek, one female with his dealing partner, Blaine McClellan. But did you notice the different charges on September 14th, 2011? Where Derek only got possession, not dealing? Where did you get your meth off of? Oh, my good long time buddy, Blaine McClellan, got dealing in meth charges while his partner only got possession. Who did he really roll on? You can go look for yourselves. If a rolling did happen on a certain prominent family member of a local drug ring, and it'd be a hell of a good reason why Blaine McClellan, his family, the druggies that he ran with, you think I didn't document each and every single one of the dealers and back to the cases that go back and around? And everybody that's thinking the Odinism angle is made up, it's far-fetched in Delphi. How about you look up Christopher Mathis, mugshot Nicole Bowens, then look up his Facebook 2016, 2017, the runes on his chest. The runes right there in the mugshot. The practicing Odinism, Norse and pagan, the kindred mindset of others that were reliving from like February 10th to the 16th, the whole Yule time period. You had Brad Holder, Gabriel Ellis, Kyle Stacy, Elijah Cook, among many other names. I've got the original conversations with Tina. The same Tina that was in these Facebook groups with these content creators and certain names like Julie Melvin, Judy Holloway, or Judy Hathaway, or how about Jolene Jody Posey, or Jenny Kroom? Look only where they want you to look. With what content creators they keep boosting and getting ads and memberships to push the stories they want you seeing and hearing. But how Jenny Kroom was, don't I fucking dare bring up Brittany. What is it? MOSSHOLDER? Don't I fucking dare bring up her and her family's dealing. I raised my niece since she was a child. It's like my second daughter. Don't I fucking dare if I know what's best for me? You remember that, Jenny Kroom? Oh, I do. Don't I fucking dare bring up your niece's family and their dealing? I'm going there and then some. Back to your Facebook groups, back with others. They're dealers, just like yours. Adding each other to these Facebook groups, controlling a narrative, controlling stories, controlling what was being fed out to the public in mass to see with your content creator friends in your little groups. This is both left and right. On pro defense and pro state, you're still doing it. Still to this day, more than one child's case. You were there for friends and family, drug dealers. They're getting away scot free, no charges on yourself for the tampering that you have done for years. It's about to change. I've got 2 congressional committees about to rain hell. When I showed them 4 badges, go back to the same criminal network, cartel network, their drugs, their gun trafficking, sex trafficking, the names around all 4 of these cases, they barely went after 2, which is Officer Pitts and Deputy Pickett out of Boone County. Look up 2018. They started making ties and connections, not just with dealers, but now gun traffickers for the same drug ring. Oh, what I'm about to come open, this has been needing done for years now. And everybody that's been trying to pry everything out of me, what's about to come out, but not the way you want. Your little Facebook groups, your dealers, their family members, their friends in these groups, you knowing this, like Megan Riddell, a killer, and then having her fucking mom help push stories, push narratives through your little Facebook groups onto the content creators that you could buy out to push your little false ass narratives, your fake ass stories. I've got every single original text message. I've got every single original Facebook messages where these Facebook groups, I documented, I screenshot every fucking one in there on every conversation. So go ahead and try me. And Jenny Kroom, go ahead and fucking try you. You don't know who I know, so you call. Oh, go ahead and fucking do it. I fucking dare you. You don't know who I fucking know. I can make your life end in a fucking second. That was a recorded phone call, you dumb cunt. But these Facebook groups with you, other dealers, their family and friends, these killers were adding themselves back to and getting information back to even Elvis Fields. This next video, I'll make it short. I'll do a 10, 15-minute long video. Just a little bit of snippets and some conversations like the Elvis Fields individual of what family friends of hers. And yes, we're friends with multiple friends that have friends with Elvis down there of my husband's family in Rushville. Shelley Collins. Then having You trying to get me to join groups with you, Amy, Rima, Honey, Julie Melvin. Oh, do you trust Julie? How about Jody? All the names that you named off yourself in the groups that you're in and the private messaging groups that we're with, Shelly Collins, all the admissions you made where you were not just once, but multiple times going down and meeting with Elvis in Rushville, while you're members of these groups, getting all this information by these other groups, hell, even the girls and other victims' families, to find out where the fuck I live. Wow. But I'm about to turn some heads. And I've been threatened by Jenny Kroom and others. Don't I fucking dare. Don't I go there. Just like Linda Garlic. Oh, nothing to see with my granddaughter Celeste. That sits friends with Garrett Kurtz, among others. What information was getting back to this cartel, this drug ring, these dealers, these killers, from ones right here in these Facebook groups and the private communications, the private conversations that are being praised for what? Getting information back to these dealers, their cartel, and at times the killers themselves on to keep them and their families and friends out of prison. How's that justice? How's that in the name of justice? Like ACB says, oh, please let kumbaya, like bygones be bygones in the name of justice. How the fuck's this getting justice? And all these people making hundreds of memberships, donations on reusing, reverbing the same shit I've said before. Well, I'm about to come out with a whole lot of new shit that's never been seen before, including where Robin Boudreaux, aka Prof, and these private groups, I've got the messages with you, them, the texts. I've got it all documented on each and every single one of you, prying and trying like hell with the dealers, the killers, their family, hell, their moms, their friends, trying to pry everything I knew on who and what back to them, their friends, and their family members that were involved in more than one case. On these Facebook groups, using this Facebook group or that Facebook, and group members, wave after wave, people after people, for years, in the name of justice and wanting transparency and justice, and for more than one victim. All they've done was get information back to these dealers and their cartel friends and family that are in these groups. Hell, right now, I guarantee I can show back like Judy Hathaway. A lot of these names in the groups still sit on both sides, pro state, pro defense, for it divided. They've done this for years. But you know what? Enough just using my words. I'm about to unleash the full conversation from 2018 up to 2024 with ones like Tina Riddell. Every single text message, like the Elijah Cook, her daughter stabbed one of the girls to know what it felt like. All those text messages, the originals that Prof and others have been using, saying, oh, this is my information that I have. I was sent myself. No. Every single text, email from Linda Garlic, Rima, Sandy, Judy, Jenny Kroom, Jody, Jolene Posey. All these Facebook groups, all these messages, all the tampering that you all have done over the years, it's about to come out for all to see. in every single detail and every single crumb. I'm not just saying it to say it. This next video is going to wake some people up. And just keep in mind, FBI taught me one thing: document everything, no matter how big or small a conversation or a group conversation may be. Document everything. Who's in that? Who's all the members of this group? Remember, I've gotten multiple people within private groups, Facebook conversations, sitting behind federal prison and federal bars, documenting everything. So you think your groups are all safe and fine and dandy? Nothing to fear here? Oh, wait. You got this child molester convicted. This child molester convicted. There's this dealer, this dealer, this dealer, this dealer, and this raid. Family with, say, Linda Garlic. Then you have ones like Jenny Kroom. You get the idea. It keeps going around and around and around the fucking circle we will go until I start going into each case. There will be over 80 cases. I'm going to start with about 40, mainly local cases. After I go from Diller, from this raid, from like the 2018 raids, we're going to wind this out. Every single Diller, every single one of their Facebook friends from 2018, other Dillings, like Derek Sherman, all his Dillings, all his charges, Dustin Prater, Brittany Mossholder, the Mossholder family. Oh, we're going there and then some. And before they think they could go and run and hide and delete everything, it's taken me years of screenshots to do what I need to do on these Facebook groups, these conversations. What Dillers? Who are their family? What friends have they added to these Facebook groups? Who's getting what information back to what cartel dealers? What child convicted predators? Like Linda Garlick's getting her grandson and a long time, almost like her second son. You got James Sawyer Jr., aka Clay, where I've got texts where she's admitting, yes, oh my God, fucking this happened. The last time was, his cousin. It was when we moved to Monticello. It was, oh my God, it was in my house, and you're gonna get the cops on me. You're gonna get my house raided. Like, you're a sorry piece of shit. You're moved out of your own fucking house because your granddaughter and her cousin that was raped and molested by your grandson, you moved out and moved in with your son and your grandson to coddle and baby your fucking child molesting grandson, Clayton. He's an adult now, bitch. So this child predator ways? Guess what, bitch? You can't use Monticello PD to shut my ass up. Now he's an adult. No more protecting little Clayton. The Indiana Beach. Remember the same Indiana Beach that it shows Libby working at, Indiana Beach, where child molesting Clayton Sawyer raped one of his fellow employees? Oh, bitch, I've got a lot more that you don't want seen, don't want out, don't want seen and heard. Oh, yeah. It makes me sick to know that you guys knew from Columbus, Indiana, moving up to Monticello, what he was doing to his own family, the children, and his own family and their friends. For years, I've kept this silent and kept them hidden under rugs. It helps when the child predator, longtime friend of your son's, James Sawyer, Do I really need to give out his name down there in Columbus? Already did one live. But yeah, I think this needs to be said. When some of these Facebook groups, the Facebook conversations, the Discord, the behind the scenes are getting praised here lately, I think the truth needs to be seen. What dealers, what individuals that are involved in more than one case are getting information from their family and their friends that are inside these groups, and hell, at times their own members that involved were help clean more than one missing and murdered case, tampered with the Delphi victim's blood herself. Tina Riddell put that in writ. When I asked her, whose blood did you put peroxide on? And where at? Was it in the stairwell? All of the stairwell walls, the stairs, in the basement, on the basement walls. Where was the blood? She wouldn't say, but I just put a drop on it to see if it was human. I've got all those texts that you and Linda Garlic and others in these Facebook groups don't want seen. Well, in the name of justice, once and for all, for multiple cases, this needs to be seen before I go into the dealers, then before I go into each and every single case. It's all been already documented. I've been getting the sides and everything going and together. The video that's dropping here right after this live, go ahead and fucking try me. I fucking dare each and every single one of you to fucking try me. Like I said, I'll stand my ground. If one Zach Alexander Zabel Jr., who praises sex, drugs, and murder as a veteran, now terrorist organization member of a Northern California, now cartel organization, the gangs that were connected to his cartel are now terrorist organizations, including the one that's operating right here in Indiana. So by all means, when you get froggy enough, just know that I've got more than one law enforcement living. Hell, I can see one's house from right down the road. He's got an AR. He's armed to the fucking teeth, and he has it sitting right there at his front door with his duty belt, his vest, all his nightwear, anything he needs. He's now moved it to the front door along with his canine. So if he needs me, if I need him, it's a simple text, 911. He will call dispatch. He will get them sending on the way. He will start his own recording 24/7 video on the multiple cameras he has on his property, and then get the word out to the others. This is the time period. We need all the film, all the video everybody has in this area. We've got this within of 1 minute of anything happening. I've got audio and video. Anybody that was coming, anybody that was leaving, what vehicles. You're on over 60 cameras. Let's just keep that in mind. In about a 10, 15 mile radius, there's 60 cameras on you coming and leaving. Anytime you do something, you've got more than one law enforcement watching you. Hell, you've got more than one Fed now watching you. TikTok. Is it to keep going with this, we want justice, but we're going to be adding ourselves to the groups? There's a lot of these groups I don't think are going to keep going on. And if so, they're going to kick a lot of fucking names out. A lot of people aren't going to be too happy with me. But this next video, I'm about to piss some people off, but it needed to be done. Because victim and witness tampering, more than one case, when it's knowingly being allowed to fucking happen, when there's lives that are still at risk, there's only to one extent. I will go to a certain extent, but to fully go into full detail like everybody's been trying to pry out of me, I'll give you the public information, where to look, how to look for yourselves, to see it for yourselves, document, see that what I'm showing is true, but it goes into my FBI files and other files that I know. I can FaceTime if there's an active case and I let too much of information that I had in my hard copies out. I can FaceTime and I can face charges even after not being an informant. If that case is still active, if it's still causing lives to be lost, I was let go for trying to get above the agent over me, Michael Curtis, the first field service agent that was already in Delphi on an investigation, a domestic terrorism organization investigation with multiple suspects. Do you think not only the defense, but the locals in and around Delphi have every right to know that the FBI was on an active, armed investigation against domestic terrorism suspects within Delphi prior to Delphi ever becoming a thing? They were already up there on an investigation on domestic terrorism, threats to American lives. They're trying what they were at, where they are at, what property they were around, and the surveillance for days from February 10th through February 12th. They were already surrounding a certain location. And that was withheld FBI wise, Indiana State Police wise. The locals that were all in the Joint Terrorism Task Force headed by the FBI, it was a joint task force. So Indiana State Police having access to find, oh, hell, Tony Slocum, you might want to get Frank Castiello, a longtime domestic terrorist suspect that's sitting in my BAPI files for years on more than one federally armed standoff, along with over 3 dozen militia members. Many of the friends that were sitting with Brad Holder were sitting right there on Tony Slocum. And then a Boone County Sheriff, Michael Nilsen. And the same Michael Nilsen, he listened to me when it came to his deputy's death and the cartel and the drug rings, ties and connections. Look towards the drugs, look towards the money and the drug and the gun trafficking. They barely made dents. What, 3 arrests for the guns and the ties between Deputy Pickett and Officer Robert Pitts, the ties and connections, the same criminal network you chose not to look at until I told you to. Then, oh my God, there is ties and connections between batches. There's 4 of them, at least 4 officers and deputies alike that have lost their lives over negligent agents, troopers, their fellow brothers of arms. That's sad. Lies, disregard, and negligence. And allowing suspects in and around this drug ring to keep walking. Why? Because certain politicians are making millions money laundering real estate properties, then having certain appraisal companies and county assessors paid off to inflate these properties so they could sell with a big profit to clean more money for the cartel. You'd be surprised, like Captain Kevin Summers. His $50,000, $80,000 here, there, cash as a captain, KPD, flipping houses. He started getting into real estate flipping and real estate money laundering. Oh, hell, there is money to be made in here. Oh, hell, you can get a political background and keep building it up to some high seats that the cartels bought off, just like they have in Mexico. Senators, elected officials, Delphi, city council, 2016, 2017. Think I'm fucking full of shit? Look, all the dealers at city council, county council, commissioners, elected officials, their family and friends dealing with what cartel? Just like Nick McClellan and Blaine McClellan. Blaine got the dealing. Derek only got possession. And you wondered who he rolled on. I wonder. September 14th, 2014. Go look it up yourselves. Notice the time. 0530 rated. Derek German and a female. About 12:30, 12:40 that same day. For dealing in meth, Blaine McClellan. Ding, ding, ding. Then all these dealers and their family and friends that go back around these other missing and murdered cases, adding themselves to groups, filtering all the information their buddies and their friends are getting back to their family, their friends. These dealers, hell, the killers that were involved, more than one case, just to keep them and themselves out of prison over justice for even kids. You think I'm full of shit? I'm going to drop just 5 in my community wall right after this live. Call my bluff. Right after that, the first of a couple series of the videos. Then after I prove that I'm not all talk, I'm all fucking show, the gloves are coming off. And to the extent that these dealers, their family and friends, went to of infiltrating these Facebook groups saying they want justice for these victims, like it's a minute and others, that Shelley Collins, her own self, I didn't force it out of her. Yeah, this is why we're friends with so many of Elvis Fields. It's family and friends of ours down in Rushville. My husband's family is from Rushville. They're close friends with what? Elvis Fields. And then, here, I'm going to do this. Where she was trying to get me to add, I'm going to do the Girls Roll 1 and 2 screenshots. I'm going to do Rick and Shelley Collins. The Intimate and the other Facebook group, she's actually, there's one she said she ran, I got out of her. 2 that she belongs to and longtime member of. That's 4. And let's do, yes, I did meet with Elvis Fields. Say that's the 5th. Just to prove my fucking point. Oh, trust myself. Trust these people. Join their Facebook group, their Discord, their private conversations behind the scenes that, oh, we are here, we want justice, but yet we're going to give these cartel dealers, the killers, the information they need that their friends and family are getting for them and feeding back to them. Yeah. There's a damn good reason why I didn't trust these groups. I stayed the hell out of them, but they're now getting praised. Nah. Not on my watch. The truth needs to be seen, and it is going to be seen, like it or not. I don't care who I piss off. I'm here for the victims and justice. I'm not here to be friends with the families or their friends. I'm here for justice and justice only for each and every single victim. Like I said, even Jerry McClurk and others, I'm here for one thing and one thing only: justice, and for Karina and the other victims. I'm not here to become best buddies or friends with fucking anyone if that's what it takes.